Tonight's top story, the deadliest workplace in the nation, the family farm. Good evening and welcome to 630 Point of View. I'm Chris Berg. Thanks so much for joining us. Well, we're in the midst of sugar beet harvest, and according to American Crystal Sugar spokesman Jeff Schweitzer, on a peak harvest day, there could be up to 50,000 truckloads of sugar beets being dropped off at American Crystal's 38 receiving sites, which obviously means there is a ton more truck traffic on our roads, no pun intended. In fact, just last week, there was a couple of crashes with beet trucks, leaving 2 men dead. Now, these crashes have reignited the debate about who should be driving beet trucks. Should a beet truck driver have to go out and get a commercial driver's license or not? And if that regulation was put in place, how in the world would the sugar beet farmers ever find enough CDL drivers to fit their needs in such a short harvest season? It obviously creates a real dilemma for the farmers and for the public as well. Right now, our laws allow anyone with a driver's license to drive a beet truck no matter how much or how little driving experience they have, as long as the truck has got a certain designation and stays within 150 miles of the farm after crossing state lines. Some people that I'm talking to are saying, hey, I'm concerned that some of these beet truck drivers seem to get behind the wheel and then drive these trucks as if they're driving a car. Obviously, these vehicles do not drive like cars. So I'd love to know your point of view on this. Should a beet truck driver have to go out and get their CDL or at least some sort of designation before they get behind the wheel of a beet truck? And obviously, would this even make a difference? Would it improve safety on the roads? Would it potentially save lives? Very curious to know your thoughts. You can go to our Facebook page and let us know there at facebook.com/630 POV. And I bring all this up tonight because there is an outstanding 4-part series in the Minneapolis Star-Tribune that also is talking about farm safety. It's also up on our Facebook page. You can go there and read the entire thing, but it talks about the number of farm-related deaths, how they've risen by double-digit numbers over the past decade in North Dakota and Minnesota. It also talks about some suggestions on what more could be done to improve the safety of our family farm. So with us tonight, very honored to have him on the show, the author of this series, Jeff Mitra. Jeff, thanks so much for joining us, sir. And again, I really commend you on the piece that you did. Absolutely outstanding. I want to start with you here about the beet harvest truck situation. I know you did a ton of research on this. You've been working on this piece since last December. Your thoughts on that? Even I could get behind a beet truck at this point and go drive it if the farmer let me.
Well, you know, the thing about farming is that almost all the rules that apply to the regular working world don't apply to farming. And this is probably the most recent and freshest example with the huge, I think $100 billion transportation bill that the president signed into law in 2012. There were additional exemptions created for farmers. This is one of them, the no CDL. They also are now exempt from the hours of service regulations that apply to all other commercial truckers. And the other thing is that they're also exempt from having to have their trucks inspected on an annual basis. And there's a lot of people that think that that's really doing the farmers no favors. It just makes things a lot more unsafe.
Now, I know in your piece, and please correct me if I get his title wrong, but Jim Nichols, I believe, was the former head of ag in Minnesota. I know you talked to him about this. Also an auto shop person, after you read your piece, that does a lot of work on ag vehicles, contacted you. Tell us about those conversations with those two.
Yeah, I think Jim Nichols is really interesting. Here's a guy who's, a veteran lawmaker in Minnesota. He was head of the Department of Agriculture, and of course, he's a longtime farmer, county commissioner. He's worn lots of different hats, and he can certainly see things from the farmer's point of view. And when I talked to him about MAP 21 and what was happening with the inspections, he just thought that was nuts. And this is a guy who's got to pay, his fees just like everybody else does when inspection time comes around. And he said they should not be exempting farm trucks from being inspected. They should be going the other direction. He thinks the pendulum has swung too far, that farms are getting increasingly dangerous, and this is going to cause more accidents. He thought, instead of exempting these kinds of vehicles, why don't we have trucks and skid steer loaders and tractors, the things that are causing the most deaths? Why don't we require all of them to be inspected and maybe even require a little training on those vehicles? Yeah, well, after the series ran, I heard from a lot of folks telling their own stories about, accidents that happened to their families. But one of the most interesting calls came from a guy who runs a service station that takes care of a lot of trucks in farm country. And he was like, hey, did you know about this thing where these guys don't have to have these trucks inspected anymore? And he was concerned. He was like, I sure wouldn't want to talk about this in the newspaper because these are my customers. But he said, it doesn't make sense to me because these trucks, unlike the commercial trucks, which are, they're being driven on the road, a lot of these trucks are being driven in the fields. They're going through some very tough operating conditions that are going to make those vehicles probably have more problems. More things are coming loose, and there was, in fact, a federal study after the government. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to ask you this. You look at where corn prices are at, and a lot of commodity prices, for that matter. What do you say to the farmer who says, "Look, I can't afford to do all these inspections"?
Oh, they're in a tough spot. Let's face it. When it comes to paying the bills, when corn and soybeans are getting half of what they got a couple of years ago, that's a real problem. I've talked to farm families after the story came out who said, my net income's $4,000 a year. So when you say it doesn't cost that much to put rollover protection on my tractors, well, if I got 3 tractors and it cost me $2,800, that's most of my net income. So I get it. I can understand why, and it's so hard to justify investing into safety when there aren't always an obvious connection to the bottom line.
We're going to bring Jeff back for another segment. I want to give you an idea, though, the 4-part series. Again, it's up on our Facebook page, facebook.com/630POV. But here's the titles of the 4 parts. We're going to try to hit each one of them when we come back. Part 1, deadliest workplace, the family farm. Part 2, unsafe tractors, rising risks. Part 3, a job for life and death. And Part 4, rules enforced, lives saved. We'd love to know your thoughts. Should there be more regulations on farmers or not? Many of you are getting a tremendous response on our Facebook page. Some say yes, some say no. When we come back, Jeff Maitront's going to stick around and tell us sort of the inspiration behind this piece and also some unbelievable heart-tugging stories about families that have lost loved ones and little ones. Love to know your thoughts. Go to our website, 630POV.com. We'll be right back.